The shuttle's 1930s. There's a lot more advanced stuff up there.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
In the past 2 months, over 2,000 natural disasters have been recorded. With the ongoing economic crash, millions of Americans can't afford food. Also, because of the exploding price of fuel, many farmers can't afford to plant their crops. We must take control of our greatest dependency, food. Folks, you can trust eFoods Direct, the 28-year veteran of long-term storable foods, and they're here to help. For a limited time, when you place your order for a 3-week supply of the best storable food on the planet, you will receive the 4th week absolutely free. You will save $75 and receive a full month's supply for less than $8 a day. This offer ends on June 22nd, so act now and buy 3 to get the 4th one free from eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633 or go online to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Your order deadline is June 22nd. To buy 3 and get 1 free, call 800-409-5633 or visit efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
All right, I'm going to open the phones up here in just a few minutes for the rest of the hour ahead of Lindsey Williams joining us to break down the latest that his former oil company executive has told him about the globalist plans. Most of what his sources have told him have come true, but he's only got a few more months for their prediction made 8 months ago to come true, that oil would go to $150 a barrel or above. Now, previously, they did predict that happening in 2008, 6 months before it happened, when oil was $40-something a barrel, that it would go up to 150. It did exactly that. Then his sources predicted it would go below 40. Everybody laughed at Williams again. It did that. So he's been overall very accurate with his sources. By the way, both sources known to yours truly, and now the public, of course, knows. Ken Fromm, the former head of Atlantic Richfield, because he died last December. We can now reveal that source, but we can't reveal the other source. But he said back in October, big giant conflict and destabilization and wars in the Middle East, but that would then lead to China. Watch China, it's the big one. But that was put out into 2012, and now we've got the news today. China warns U.S. to keep out of South China Sea dispute, Associated Press. Italy breaks ranks of her NATO Libya mission. We're going to be breaking that down with Lindsey Williams coming up. in the next hour, and we'll open the phones up, of course, for Lindsey. But the toll-free number to join us now is 800-259-9231. Now, ITN is big international mainline television, but they've now put out a correction that they mistranslated the Chinese reports, because the headline's "Hologram Experiment in China." And it's the fog so bad that you see buildings sticking up and things, and people saying looks like a hologram, but it isn't. But the point is that they have done hologram tests in China. They have done hologram tests here. Those are partially declassified. They've done them in Japan. And it's admitted that Hollywood wants to move to full hologram productions, that they've had the technology for a long time. There's just a great expense in putting it in. But the big places this has been accepted are South Korea and Japan. And I actually, we have a clip here of a packed arena in Japan. We'll get this linked up on Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com in this article, China Mirage City Hologram or Project Bluebeam. I'm going to get an update on that and have this video that Jaron found posted there. In fact, we'll turn the audio up for radio listeners. But I mean, watching this video, you cannot even tell that those are holograms. You know, they are three-dimensional. You can see them from all sides because in a moment they cut to side shots, and this is from Japan where this is going on. And so that's the future of film and media, or at least the future they're trying to push us into. And the big boys want this because the expense of the systems will put this out of reach of the general public, and so still you'll have to have big corporations that are able to fund all of this and then charge high prices for people to be able to get this media. But still, they've had 3D television for years. The problem is so many people get nauseous from it because it's a different type of technology than the old-fashioned stuff that they're using in the theaters. But I've now digressed with that report. But here is some of the other news I've got, simply because it ties into the overall globalist austerity strategy and the foreign banking takeover of our country, and it ties into Rick Perry. City may look at bite-sized fixes for I-35. 3 separate rounds in Texas. They tried to hand over 8,000 miles of Texas roads to foreign companies based in Australia and Spain. And it turned out there were insider deals, that the roads were already paid for, that the Texas budget actually has plenty of money for roads because of the gas taxes and other taxes. But they sell this hoax that there's not enough money, when really it's just handing over the infrastructure. In the case of Texas, we're not even bankrupt like many other states. It's just they're trying to hand it over. And under federal and state law, it's illegal to put toll roads on existing roads. So what they do is they restripe the lanes and claim that that's a new road, and then put toll roads in. And I-35 is the busiest stretch of road in the United States from Dallas to San Antonio. And the busiest area on that area, that sector, is Austin, Texas. It basically, from about 4:30 until 6:30 at night, is a parking lot. And they built all these new taxpayer roads that are toll roads that you drive down and almost no one's using them, because on top of the gas prices, they can't afford it. They're already paying for the road. And now they're going to take part of I-35, shut down the entrance ramps and exit ramps, most of them. And I heard local radio today promoting it as if it would fix our problems. This has been done in other parts of the country. They're going to take the 3-lane road that's the busiest in the country, that they never expand, and they're going to restripe it and take one of the lanes at least, or perhaps 2, and turn it into bus lanes. Well, we're already set up as a sprawling system. People already live in the suburbs. Folks can't get to the bus with their car from a bus to then ride a bus on this new lane. But don't worry, you can still drive your car. It's just going to be an expensive toll road. And it's just pure profiteering, pure mafia takeover. And when they announced 2 years ago, NAFTA Superhighway, Texas Trans-Texas Corridor dead, when they announced that it was dead in Texas, in the AP article at the bottom, it said, well, they're just now going to do it piecemeal and not call it the Trans-Texas Corridor. Now, first, going back 5 years ago, we played these clips here, CNN and MSNBC actually got up and said things like, Ron Paul is insane. He is imagining an imaginary Trans-Texas Corridor. Billboards were up. Texans all saw this. It didn't make sense. The toll roads were going in. And I played the clips here where they were talking to the other 49 states, and they said there's no NAFTA superhighway, there's no Trans-Texas Corridor, there's no toll roads coming. That's a military tactic. As they march on your emplacements, firing at you, they'll have bullhorns going saying, we're not assaulting, come out with your hands up. And in many wars, it's been shown, people will come out and actually be shot because they're panicking as the advancing army comes. They want to believe they've got a way out, so they'll go ahead and just stand up. They'll go ahead and stand up and be shot. They'll run towards the machine guns. Oh, yes. Same thing at Waco. You know, they were sitting there shooting the Davidians as they came out from behind the tanks on the flare footage. They were saying, not an assault. Come out. We are your friends. Come out with your hands up. And they would come out and be shot. So it's, and then the flare footage got released showing the troops behind the tanks, you know, black and white footage from the FLIR, from the FBI's own plane. And they're shooting and you see the people falling. And they said, those little Christmas tree things off the end of guns, those are flashes from debris on the ground. I mean, you see guys piling out of the backs of the tanks in classic infantry maneuver. You see them aiming. You see them shooting. And it's like, oh, no, that's a mirage on the video tape. So the point is that more and more reality is just bleeding into fantasy as they force feed all of this. And it says, thinking big. Notice how this Ben Weir wrote this piece, propagandist, just to make the whole thing sound great. Oh, it's bite-sized. It's little. Don't worry about it. Thinking big about Interstate 35 over the past 2 decades has mostly led to canceled studies and ignored proposals rather than action. Oh, see. And they always say, you wouldn't let us turn it into toll roads, so that's why it's so screwed up. And they say, oh, because of electric cars, there's not enough money in the gas tax, when actually gas tax revenues in every state are off the chart. Same thing federal. Every year we use millions of barrels more. But they don't care. They don't care. They don't care that most states have plenty of money in their highway fund. They tell you there's not enough money. We got to put toll roads on it. And by the way, a foreign company is going to restripe the road, and so they get to have it for 25 years now. But you're still also going to pay for the upkeep, but they just get all the money. How's that sound? The Austin City Council on Thursday will consider paying Parsons Brinckerhoff America, Inc. up to $1 million to produce a list of short-term, mid-term, and long-term recommendations for improving traffic flow on Austin's notoriously congested highway. And they go on with the proposals that are already out to shut down the entrance and exit ramps. And they do this all over the country. So you can't even get off in the city. And then it's a total snarl at the few places they let you get off, and to turn it into a bus lane and toll road lane. And it just goes on from there. Oh, okay, I said I'd go to your calls. And here's some of the military news I'm going to break down with our guest, Lindsey Williams, when he comes on, because it ties into all this. Italy breaks ranks after NATO Libya mission, says that they want a ceasefire and end of hostilities. Here's another one. Kerry McKay introduced resolution to legitimize invasion of Libya. We told you that ground war is on. Biggest Marine Corps amphibious landing drill to take place on the East Coast and multi-states coming up. We're breaking that down. No troop withdrawal in Afghanistan. It's all smoke and mirrors by Obama claiming they're about to have a troop withdrawal. They're just going to pull out some and then put in more. Scores of U.S. airstrikes in Libya in the last few days. We're going to be going over that. Also, Turkish actions designed to trigger NATO. Confrontation with Syria. Another report here, the destabilization of Syria and the broader Middle East war. That is all coming up. But right now, let's go to your phone calls. Let's talk to Ben in Tennessee. Ben, thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex. Kudos. Got a couple of things. One question for Lindsey Williams. One thing I saw on Drudge this morning, I'm sure you probably seen it as well. where the FBI is now shutting down websites and they're just doing it right out in the open.